Alright, start it.
This is my family property. 56 acres of land was granted to us in 1834, and it has been passed down each generation since. I have spent so much time here throughout my childhood, and I love coming here to visit my grandparents, spend time outside, and ride through the trails. There are a lot of different areas here, and with each one, there's a story to tell. My grandparents work on a lot of different projects around here. They put up this entire fence by themselves in the backyard, built out this mini pond over the years, and probably the biggest thing is the garden my grandma has continued to perfect year after year. She's planted all kinds of different things over the years, and adds all these nice looking pieces, and it looks very beautiful whenever it blooms. My favorite part of the property is probably the trails and the vehicles we get to take around. This field has been through the most changes over time, and is probably the most significant part as it connects everything together. It is now just grass cut for hay, but it used to be where many different crops were grown, including soybeans and corn. The first place to see is the pond. It's completely man-made, and it's where the entire creek system connects through. It's always so beautiful to see the trees reflect off the still water. It looks like a mirror sometimes. When I was younger, we'd all go fishing here, and the trails used to connect to the lower areas. It's all been reshaped, but the area still retains its beauty. The Walnut Grove is probably my favorite area. Down in the woods below the fields is a really nice area to ride around in. These trees were planted just a couple generations ago and are still here to be seen growing up today. The creek runs through the rest of the property, and you can see it connect to the pond up top. There's a lot of diversity here. Doing laps round and round this place, and seeing how far I can take that little four-wheeler is super fun. The graveyard is another neat area. It features one of, if not the largest rental cabin that another part of my family runs, in another really nice looking pond. Many previous generations are buried here, and some family members now even have gravestones created for when they want to be buried here. It wasn't always like this, however. As I was growing up, this was the one place that had always remained the same. But with all things come change. This place isn't mine anymore. The land belongs to a different part of our family now. It's certainly a hard pill to swallow, but this ultimately teaches a valuable lesson. One of acceptance. For better or worse, some parts of life are simply out of our control. This place is incredibly special to me, and I can only watch as it takes on a new identity. A second life. I watch as these gravel roads begin to pave over the land with good intentions. I watch as the land is machined to perfection. Almost too perfect. There is no doubt that this place has grown up. But so have I. I can't dwell on what the future holds, for that's unknown. All I can do is be thankful of the past. All of the moments of peace, listening to nothing but the sounds of nature against the calm idle of that little Honda. The time spent flying through the dirt trails, leaving nothing but a giant dust storm behind. The times we went fishing as a family, and tiny me being too nervous to get them off the hook myself. Taking the dogs for a run and watching them do their absolute best to find the muddiest areas they can to play in. This is the place where I discovered my love of vehicles and automotive. Starting from my grandpa removing the deck and repainting an old snapper lawnmower so I could drive around the yard at 4 years old, to getting my own little blue four-wheeler at 7, and eventually getting big enough to ride the 4-tracks, the same one my dad rode in on over 30 years ago. I learned how to drive a manual transmission in our Geo Metro turned off-roader called the Red Rover, and continued to get better when we got our CJ7 Jeep. And now, as I become an adult, get to drive my very own Ranger through the same very trails. I've learned so much about driving and gained a lot of skill, as well as taught myself a lot of mechanical work. I've been at the wheel since 4 years old, and I have this place to thank for it. While I may no longer be a part of it, it will always be a part of me, and it will always be my sense of place.